Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about jewelry and whether or not it's a good investment. Coming up. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and on this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you be successful. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk about jewelry and whether or not it's a good investment. Now someone was asking me the other day about jewelry. They were saying, hey, I have some extra money to invest. Should I buy some jewelry? Is it a good investment? My answer was absolutely not. Jewelry is a terrible investment. Let me explain why. There's something called numismatic value, and then there's something called melt value when it comes to precious metals. Precious metals are gold, platinum, silver, things like that are worth a lot of money. So if you have, for example, this silver ring, an artist had to take time to carve this and to make this into a nice piece of jewelry. So that artistic value adds something to it called numismatic value. And that might make this ring worth $20. But if I were to melt this down and make it into a piece of silver, the melt value, it would be the price per ounce of that precious metal. You can look on the internet, and where you see stock exchanges like the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and other stuff like that, you'll also see commodities and precious metals traded, like gold, silver, and then commodities are like pork bellies, oil, coal, stuff like that, wheat, corn, soybeans, etc. So even though this might cost $20 because of the added numismatic or artistic value of making it, the actual melt value of it is what the price per ounce is of silver. So for example, if silver is $10 an ounce and this ring has 1 ounce of silver in it, this ring's only worth $10. That's it. Even though I paid $20, that's because the other $10 went towards the artist that actually made this ring. So just to start with, when you buy jewelry, you're already losing money because most people and pawn shops and people like that value these types of things only value them based on melt value. They don't take into account artistic value. So my friend took his ring into the pawn shop and he said he paid $500 for it. He said when he went into the pawn shop, they only offered him $150 for it. And he was wondering why. Well, that's because the actual melt value of the ring was about $200 and the pawn shop has to make money. So they lent him $150 and they charged him interest. So it's not really worth it. If he doesn't pick up the ring, he already loses the $50 in melt value of the ring, plus he loses the numismatic value. So jewelry is a terrible investment. Whenever you buy jewelry, typically you're paying 200 to 300% of what that precious metal is actually worth. That's a huge difference. So again, if you're gonna buy it, don't go to a retail place, go to a pawn shop or go to a place that sells the metal based on its melt value. That's gonna actually give you the precious metal for the price per ounce. That's a better investment if you're gonna invest in precious metals. But no, jewelry is not a good investment. And if you're buying jewelry and you're thinking, hey, well, at least I can go pawn it and I can use it for short-term loans. No, pawn shops give one of the worst terms in terms of loans. They're basically loan sharks. If you add up the percentage of what they're charging you and the money they lend you, it adds up to sometimes hundreds of % per year. So don't use that as a strategy to get short-term loans. You're better off getting short-term loans off your credit cards or asking a family member or even getting a payday loan, which are actually also bad, but much better than pawn shops. So if you're looking at jewelry as an investment strategy, don't. It's not a good strategy. And a second point I just wanted to mention is that jewelry creates risk. For example, if you travel a lot, and let's say you're walking down the road in Kenya or Guatemala or somewhere, you have a big gold necklace and gold rings and gold watch or silver earrings or whatever, you're making yourself a target. People want that stuff. They know it has some value. They don't know how much it's worth, but they know it's worth something, so they're gonna try to rob you for it. So you're making yourself into a target on top of it. So I personally don't buy any jewelry, and I definitely don't use it when I'm traveling because it attracts too much attention. You basically want to try to blend in wherever you are, so you don't suffer the consequences of being targeted by someone to try to get, you know, whatever your precious metals might be. Thank you again for listening, and from East Los Angeles, this is AttaBoy Cowboy. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.